Hey there, it's Mary with Mary's Stampin' Cafe. It is Saturday Stampin' time, and today it's Slimline Saturday. So I am using a January 2023 Sheetload of Cards template from Call Me Crafty Al. I've done these before, and I tell you, there's nothing better than how wonderful Crafty Al is by every single month sharing a free template for a Sheetload of Cards is to keep us all crafting with our wonderful crafting products. So I wanted to share this with you today because this is what I'm using as a template, and it's actually cards that are going to be made at my Stampin' Chat Saturday, which is August 17th locally in my workshop room. So these Sheetload of Cards help me to create fabulous projects for my stamping friends. So let me show you the card that I made. Here it is. Isn't it beautiful? It became so easily beautiful because of the designer series paper and the fabulous Frosted Forest bundle. So here is the Frosted Forest stamp set. Now, you know, Stampin' Up! Seems to love trees. So we've got lots of different tree stamps, and you think, I don't need another tree set, but I tell you, every time Stampin' Up! Comes out with a bundle or another stamp set that's trees, there's something special about it. And this one is no different. So this beautiful Frosted Forest comes with the dies, which I don't have in my basket, and that's okay because the dies cut out all of your images. But there is a masking set. Now this masking set, the decorative masks, there's many of them, and let me just show them to you. So we have 3 for the, I'll call them the pine trees, the fir trees, so much fun. So you have 3 different layers you can do with those. And then the one I'm doing today also has 3 decorative masks, and when Stampin' Up! Designs, they show you, like this is the number 1. It has a little 1 up in the corner. And then the order for you to go ahead and do those. And this happens to be the trunk, which lines up perfectly with the stamped image. And so you could create just so many different variations of colors. And boy, once you start, it's so much fun. So let's go ahead and set those aside for a minute. I'm also using the beautiful dragonflies and bird gold adhesive embellishments. But let's talk about the designer series paper. This is the Thoughtful Journey 6x6 designer series paper, and you can see how stunningly gorgeous this paper is. There's just so many scenes. I mean, this one right here, I am all for bringing in my beautiful fir trees and have them here in the foreground, and a little bit of frostiness. Take some of the little snowflake embellishments, but just so beautiful for all season. You could use this all throughout every season. Beautiful, beautiful paper. This designer series paper is so beautifully crafted that you do not need to do much at all. You can use just a panel of it, a sentiment, and you are good to go. It is also part of the current August designer series paper sale. Any of the annual catalog designer series paper is 15% off right now. So when you place an order, you can take 15% off of any of these papers. I would highly suggest the Thoughtful Journeys that I'm sharing today and the Winter Meadow. The Winter Meadow designer papers, I don't have any to share with you because I keep using it. It has some stunning scenes as well. Just absolutely beautiful. So pretty. And so there's just so many things to look at. I love the wildly flowering. It's bold, beautiful, deep, rich colors. Just lots of. So when you go to StampinUp.com and you shop now, you can look up papers. And when you click on the designer series papers, Any that are on sale will show that sale price. I have a host code that you can use right here or at the bottom of my screen. But take a look at that. That's good through August. And if you earned any bonus coupons in July, it's time to redeem those. All right, so let's talk about, this is the beautiful card. I did some layering in here with Misty Moonlight. This is Mossy Meadow. And you can see my card here. It varies just a little bit. I didn't do a big circle here. I decided to go long and then create this piece here as a tab. I also didn't do all of the layers. So notice here on the center it has a layer of cardstock and then pattern paper. Because my tree is a very large tree, it would just squish things too much. So when you get your sheet load of cards, you go ahead and take a look at the second page, and this shows you how you're going to then cut all of your cardstock and your designer series papers. Now, of course, because I altered this a little bit, I was taking a look at the like the layout but only want to make a single card. They put all of it right here, and then I just knew that I was not going to be using the CSB, so I didn't need to worry about it. I'm not going to use that. I was basically using just sorry, I was using this measure and all of that. So we'll get there. Let's just say that. Okay. So this was my card today, and I'm going to create this card with you so I can show you the beautiful masks, but also show you a completely different color scheme. So there's my original there. Okay, so I'm going to pull out supplies. When you come to my card making sessions on Stampin' Chat Saturday, there's 4 projects and all of your supplies are right inside your envelope for creating your project. Now, what's really great, this mini Slimline measures, it measures like 6 1/4 by 3 when it's folded. And it just so happened my mailing envelopes that I found at the dollar store, 3 5/8 by 6 1/2, work perfect for this. So I was very excited about that because I do not want to have to make envelopes for my Slimline cards. Okay, so what I have here is I've got a couple of the other pieces that I thought would be beautiful for this, and these lend themselves much more into the end of like the Cajun Craze and the Calypso Coral. So I'm thinking that I would like to use this one because it still has a bit of the blue in it, and I'm still keeping those blue accents, as you can see here, just so pretty together. So I'm going to set this one aside. If I were to do this one, I would want to use maybe Cajun Craze as my other piece. And so that's something to think about there, just switching up the cardstock pieces. Now I want to remember and throw out hashtag Saturday Morning Makes, so hashtag Satmorn Makes, or hashtag 2Crafters1Design. 2Crafters1Design, their theme for this week was fairies, and I just, I don't really have any fairy kind of stamps or anything, so we're out in the meadow, so maybe, you know, the fairies will come from there. So hash Satmorn Makes and hash 2Crafters1Design. Check out everybody's crafting today. So my little strips here, when I take the measure, it's a 3 by 1. It's a 3 by 1, and this is a 3/4 by 2 3/4, and that's how I get the little bit difference here. Okay. All right, let's start with our tree. Let's do that. So let's set those aside and get my ink and my stamp. Here's the stamp. And we are going to use pecan pie. Pecan pie is going to be used just to give us our outline. When you look at the stamp, you almost feel like there's so much detail to it already that why would you do the brown? Because you wouldn't want your tree brown. But again, it's just doing accents. It's not coloring anything in. So I'm using the pecan pie. And stamping that beautiful skeleton of the tree. see that. Isn't that pretty? I mean, I feel like I could just stamp that and have a little sentiment. Oh, it'd be beautiful. All right. So from there, we're going to use this again. Take the stamp set away. And I'm going to grab my blending brushes. I need my pecan pie. And then we need those gorgeous masks. So I need this first one, the second, and the third. Okay. All right, now for this, I'm simply going to line up. Let me open this. I'm going to line up the mask. Now, there's lots of things to think about here. Do you want to tape things down? Do you not want to tape things down? I'm going to be real honest with you. I'm not going to tape anything down. I don't feel like I need to. I feel like I can hold things just fine. But basically, you're going to be lining right up all of the branches. And I watch the side of the trunk, really. It's this line here that I really watch because I want to make sure I'm right on the center of that trunk. And then I have a lot of space around here, so I don't feel like I need to worry about taping anything down. I'm just going to hold it. Now, I always start off on the mat and then do circular motions. And I want to think about how dark do I want this trunk. I really would like it to be kind of soft, starting off and just pushing a little harder as I go. And I think that's all I need. So let's pull that off and see if I lined things up well. Oh, look at that. Look at how pretty that is. And see how you have just that outline of those leaves. So that's that. No longer need your pecan pie. Now I'm going to bring in Calypso Coral because remember the piece I'm using has some of that rich coral and Cajun craze down here, but also has it up in here. And I want to highlight just a little bit different color scheme. Getting more into those fall colors. So then we'll grab the second die, which is now the large part. Now remember the little divot here, that's the right direction with the number facing up. And then I'm just going to come over, line up, take a few minutes to just, well, I don't need a few minutes to line it up, but you know what I mean. You want to make sure you get it good. There we go. I make sure my center is right over. And same thing, I'm just going to hold it. I'm going to ink up and start off on the mat and then just go over. I'm not pushing down hard at all. I don't want this super dark. Just till I seem to have it all smoothed out. Maybe a little deeper over here. And there we are. Look how beautiful that is. How pretty is that? Now, you do not need to change any colors when you come to put the details. So if you take a look at my card here, you can see the little deeper spots on the tree. That's to give you the depth. You know, when you look at a tree, you're kind of seeing into the tree, and that's how you're getting that effect. I did not change my ink. This is Old Olive, and I just continue to use Old Olive. When you put color on top of color, it obviously gets deeper, right? And so you don't need to have more, colors. You can just use what you have. Now, when you do this one, just know, you need to know, see how I have these, I have a little gap there and a little gap here and a little gap there. Don't worry about that. Just make sure you are lined up over. That just happens, but it happens beautifully. It just doesn't, you see over here, you don't see any weirdness. It's just so cool how that happens. All right, so now from this, I'm just gonna go over top of it again, not too hard. I don't want to look like it has leopard spots. because that can happen. You can all of a sudden look like you've got leopard spots, and I don't want that. I'm just going to give it a little bit of shooshing here, and that's all I'm doing. And then see here how you've got just that beautiful detail now on that tree. That is so pretty. Oh my gosh. So just think of all of your color combinations you could do. It's just like limitless. And when you take a look at the color that's in the paper, when you're using your sheets, you have all of the listing of the colors, the coordinating colors. This has Blackberry Bliss, Boho Blue, Cajun Craze, Calypso Coral, Lost Lagoon, Misty Moonlight, Mossy Meadow, Peach Pie. Peach Pie would be pretty. Petunia Pop, Pool Party, Pretty Peacock, and Wild Wheat. And so it's just really, really beautiful. And you can see how Stampin' Up! Has taken that Mossy Meadow and then see how they've bled in that Wild Wheat right into here. Just so beautiful how the artists design these papers. All right, so from there we just simply need to die cut out our beautiful tree. Just stunning, and it's going to look so good with the paper. And my die, oh my goodness, my die is over at the other table. I'm so sorry. Oh my goodness. I got it. I'm so sorry. You know, when you're prepping and doing things and you're going to do something for a class, I already had it at the other stamping counter for people to be able to die cut out their tree. Oh my gosh. All right, and when we do this, we have to extend our top plate ahead of the bottom plate. Whoop. I need washi tape, right? Yep, I know. There we go. We'll see how much border I have washi tape over at that stamping counter for my Stampin' friends. I should take that advice from myself, right? Yeah, a little bit off. That's okay because trimming with scissors is amazing what you can do. All right. So let's grab my scissor. I just need to do just a little bit of work here just because I was over a little bit. But you know what? It's not a problem. There's such a beautiful edging that goes along that you can just, if you feel like you want to go in a little bit more, you can. Go in just a little bit here. And I think that's all I need. When it's up against the beautiful thing here, it won't matter. All right, let's get our dimensionals all on the back of this. So it's like a whirlwind. It would bonus day collecting in July when you placed orders, and now you get that wonderful reward time of, get a mini here or two, of redeeming those, which is fabulous. All right, let's bring our card in. When you got your bonus coupons, you got emails congratulating you for earning them, and save the code, and then you just copy and paste those right into the code area when you place your order. So much fun. And demonstrators right now are pre-ordering for the September to December mini catalog, which is very exciting. I'll have my box very soon, and I'm going to share all about a paper share opportunity as well as some new classes. All right, so I'm going to just grab my punch here that I have so I can get a nice little tab at the end, or flag at the end. I'm only bringing to where the edges are over. I don't want to go all the way. I just want to give it a little bit. See there? Okay. So that's going to get glued down. I'm going to come down about right to here. There we go. And then the tree's going to go ahead and go there. I was so resistant of getting this bundle. It's one of the online exclusives. I was thinking, oh, another tree set. But with this Thoughtful Journey Designer Series paper, I'm just going to clip, oh, don't want to see those dimensionals. I'm just going to clip a little bit off the bottom of the tree because I don't want them to be exposed, and I need to clip a little of this dimensional. There we go. So then this is going to sit right here. Look how pretty that is. Just that color change. Look at that, you guys. Oh, wow. Okay, and from there, I'm going to grab my sentiment. I have the Thinking of You. Now that is not from this stamp set. Trying to think of which stamp set it's from. It doesn't matter. Any Thinking of You. And this one is cut again a little bit smaller. And I'm going to go with the Calypso Coral since I use that for my tree. Make sure I get that inked up really, really well. I'm going out to the edges of my ink pad because that tends to be where it collects up. Oh, and I got a little, let me do it again because I got a little ink on it from the edging. We don't want that. So don't stamp down too hard. I'm sorry if I have to bring my head up here a little bit. There we are, Thinking of You. Now I'm going to do the same thing with my punch and just get it past the edge, the corners, center it, and punch. And then this is going to go right over top, but again I want to come a little bit farther up than that. And my tree, so I do want to trim a little bit more of my tree just because I don't want it to show. There we go. Because if I go up any higher with the tree, he'll be off. So there we go. That'll work out perfect. So I want to go ahead and bring in my ink pad again. And I'm going to do a hard edge sponging on it just by hitting onto the stamp pad just like this. But now I'm going to grab my sponge and get these corners in here. I don't want to try to put those tips in the ink because then I'll get really mucky. There we go. And this needs Stampin' Dimensionals. I think I'll use the minis. No, I'll just grab the regulars. So if you have not checked out Call Me Crafty Al on YouTube, you want to. She'll do the sheet load of cards, and then she'll show you a whole nother alternative set using some of the leftover pieces. It's just great. I really like it. And there we go. I lifted up both the tree and the sentiment. So let's go ahead and get into our inside of the card. The inside has, from the stamp set, it says, "No beauty shines brighter than that of a good heart." So that's a beautiful one for thinking of you. So ink that up, and then we'll go ahead and stamp a bird on the inside. Get that straight. Okay. So pretty. And then I've got Misty Moonlight, the color that is the strip in the inside. And there's a beautiful bird in the stamp set. I'm going to just stamp one of the pretty blue birds, just like so. I'm not going to color it in or anything. Just let it be like that. That liquid, that glue is, not the glue, the ink in the Misty Moonlight is very wet. So you want to give it a second to dry. So when you turn it over to glue it down, you don't smear it. And then that on the inside. So what I did for this layer on the inside, I knew that this was 6 1/4 by 3 1/4. So then I just did 3 by 6. And then the vanilla piece was just 1/4 smaller from that. So there we are. How pretty is that? And now we just need our beautiful embellishments. The dragonflies and birds. And we'll have one that's kind of coming in and another that is flying up, just like so. So pretty. And I could take a dragonfly and put that right here. Oh, that's pretty. I'll do that on this one too. This one I stamped the thinking of you over farther, almost to the edge. It gives a little bit more room for that little dragonfly right there. So wow, there we have it. 2 beautiful versions of this Thinking of You card. One much more on the greens, those deep greens, and another more on that fall is really coming in. And I love this because the sky is looking like it's becoming twilight. And look how pretty that is. So again, this measures 6 1/4 by 3 1/4. So again, just if you're looking for envelopes, I got these at the dollar store. This was the perfect size. It slides right in to the envelope. I love that. Perfect. Okay, so again, this was the Frosted Forest bundle. It comes with the stamp set, the dies, and those beautiful decorative masks to have so much fun with all of the different colors you can create and all the seasons you can create. My goodness, from spring, summer, fall, and winter. It will be so much fun. I can't wait. I'm going to make some more of these cards with even the different ones for winter. So it'll be so much fun. All right, so remember, you can download your Sheetload of card templates. You can search in just Sheetload of cards, and these go back, 2019, goes back even farther, I think. But it's so fun to search and find some. I love card sketches, and I love when I can do multiples. And the Designer Series paper sale, do not forget about that. Go browse and check out all those beautiful Designer Series paper. And again, I would suggest the Winter Meadow and the Thoughtful Journey. both of those. The winter meadow will be so beautiful to do the pine trees and the fir trees for the winter. Oh, so pretty. So many things to choose from. So check it all out. Remember to check out hashtag Sapmorn Makes and hashtags two crafters, one design. Let me know what you think of my cards today. Do you really prefer this rich green colors, or what do you think about kind of this twilight fall, moving into fall? I'd love to hear from you. All the links below are there for the Designer Series paper sale, for the Sheetload of cards, and my blog for today. I'm also forming our groups for our Make a Card, Send a Cards. I'll have a link down below for that if you'd like to join in on creating cards for 6 months and sending to 6 people. You can find out more information on that. So it's time to get your crafting on, guys. Thanks for stopping in. Until next time, happy stampin'.